Hi everyone, here's the introduction to our 20-hour NREMT prep course. So a little bit about the course. What you're going to find is that it covers the 20 hours required for the national component for the National Registry. So if you have had 3 unsuccessful attempts at the National Registry and you need 20 hours of continuing education covering the national component to be allowed more attempts at the exam, this course will satisfy that requirement. Also, if you are one of my EMT students, I may be requiring you to take this course because you are a little bit on the edge with finishing the class, or you may be here taking this course for continuing education, or just to make sure you're prepared for that first or second attempt on the National Registry. So for whatever reason you're here, this video is going to tell you kind of what to expect and how to be prepared and how to use this material. Now, I've mostly designed this course to prepare people that are going to be taking the National Registry. So if you're already a fully certified EMT and you're taking this course for continuing education, it'll still satisfy those requirements, but it's going to be a little bit more focused on passing that National Registry exam than what you would typically find in a continuing education course. So, as you know, the National Registry requires 2 hours of EMS operations, 4 hours of airway, 5 hours of cardiology, 6 hours of medical, and 3 hours of trauma. So that's how we've laid out the course. Now, as far as each of those topics, the way we go through those, you'll have a video followed by a quiz and then roll right into the next video. Each of those videos is going to highlight just the most important topics you need to know from that chapter. The quiz is going to cover exactly what was in the video. So if you're watching the video and you're thinking, I wonder if this will be on the quiz, 99% of the time the answer is yes. You need to make sure you really learn everything in the video. So if it wasn't important, I wouldn't have included it in the video. And if it's important, I'm going to have it on the quiz. So basically, the videos are just to get you prepared for those quizzes, and those quizzes are to get you prepared for that National Registry exam that you hopefully have coming up. So each of the quizzes will be comprehensive, and then also the quizzes are going to require you to score 100% to move to the next lesson. The goal of this is to make sure you know everything you need to know going into that National Registry. There aren't any really trick questions. They're very straightforward vocabulary matching type questions just to make sure you know the content. So that's kind of how the course is laid out. And again, the purpose of this course is to help you learn what you need to know. If you fell a little behind in your EMT class or you were unsuccessful in the National Registry, that's okay. We're going to get you there and we're going to get you to pass that National Registry exam. That is exactly what this course is designed for. It's not a comprehensive course. If you weren't already trained as an EMT, this course would be probably a little overwhelming. And in fact, if you start into this course and it feels overwhelming, please reach out to me and we can get you enrolled in our full EMT course. And we can, if you paid for this course, we can apply that payment towards the full EMT course. So if you start out and it's too much, that probably means you need to do the entire class and reach out to me and we'll get that figured out. Also, it's not busy work. We didn't design this course to waste your time or waste our time or anything like that. It's all designed to get you ready for that National Registry. So, you know, don't look for shortcuts. Don't feel like you're just trying to jump through hoops. Treat it as, okay, basically you've paid money or been offered a free tutor, and I'm spending my time to get you ready, and just soak as much as you can out of that time that we're going to be spending together here over the next 20 hours of coursework to get you ready for that National Registry exam. So take it seriously. Think of this as your last chance to get ready for that National Registry because it is. You've already completed your EMT course. This is your last chance to make sure you know the things you need going into that National Registry. Be intentional. These videos are not designed to be played in the background while you're cooking dinner and having friends over or even driving in your car or anything like that. It needs to be you fully focused on the videos, taking notes, making note cards, really checking with yourself, do I understand this material? If you have a question from one of the videos and you feel like you have further questions, feel free to email us and we can add additional information or even set up a Zoom meeting to chat about a topic that you're confused on. But we want to make sure you actually know the information. So if you're struggling with the information, it doesn't mean you can't pass the National Registry. It just means you have more work to do. And so whether that means putting more focus on this course or, like I said, enrolling in our entire EMT course, whether you were my previous student or not, reach out to us and we can talk about those different options. A couple of kind of tech requirements for the platform. It's going to work a lot more smoothly on a laptop or a desktop. If you try to use a phone or a tablet, the videos are small, the text is hard to read. You'll notice that in this video here if you're trying to watch this on a phone. And then also the quiz platform just works much better on a laptop or a desktop. So let me kind of show you how those things work. You'll also see, I'm going to pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about here, but the video controls have been disappeared, so you won't be able to speed up the video or slow down or even back it up or go forward. The course is going to require you to watch the full videos start to finish at regular time. There is an option to open it in YouTube, so you can have those features, but you need to watch the video in full first on the actual website, or it won't count towards you watching the video. So you'll have to watch the video before the quiz shows up, and you need to watch it start to finish before it will let you do that. Now you can pause the video. You're going to see that throughout the video, there's a ton of vocabulary that you need to write down. And so feel free to pause the video and I'll show you how to do that as well. Again, with the quizzes, you're really going to want a desktop or a laptop. And furthermore, you're really going to want an external mouse. The trackpad, I'll show you a workaround, but it makes it a little bit difficult to take the quiz. So let's look at what the course actually looks like and all that. So when you log into the Fight or Flight website, you will see your name here at the top and then any courses you're enrolled in. So if you've taken other courses with us, you may have a lot like I have here, or you may just have this one course if this is the only course you're enrolled in. But you're going to look on this list for the NREMT prep course. You can click the arrow to expand it to kind of see how far you've made it and everything. But when you click on the course, that's actually going to take you to the course. Now it'll, as you can see in the course here, it lists out those different topics and how many hours it's going to take you approximately on each topic. Now, when this is 2 hours, that means there's about 1 hour to an hour and a half of videos, and then that's going to allow you time to do those quizzes and get those quizzes at a mastery level where you get 100%. And then you can expand this if you're wanting to know, okay, about how many videos are there. Same thing with NREMT prep. You can expand it and see about how many videos there are. So let's open the first video. So when you click on EMS systems, now in your end, you will not see the checkpoint down here. The system is going to require you to watch the video before you can get to that checkpoint. My settings are obviously different, being that I designed the course. So you can hit play, and that will play the video. You can hit pause down here. You can, you can also just click in the middle of the video, and that will pause it. And then if you would like to watch the video on YouTube later, what I would suggest you do is on YouTube, right-click on that, and then you can click open link in new tab, and then you will have that video open in a different tab up here so that later when you're taking the quiz, if you feel like you need to come back and review, you can click through the different parts of the video like you normally would in YouTube. Okay, but here you're going to have to watch it start to finish through the video. Once you're finished with that, the checkpoint will pop up down here and you will proceed to take that quiz. Multiple choice, pretty simple, straightforward. Click and answer, click next. Now, these drag and drop ones are where you're really going to want a mouse with a roller ball, if at all possible. Because let's say you want to put this answer in the bottom box, I can click it, and then I can use the roller to scroll down further on the screen. A lot of times there will be enough answers that it's kind of hidden. So your other option, if you can't do that, you can zoom out. On my computer, that's Control minus, and you can zoom out to where these are smaller, and then you'll be able to click and drag even with a trackpad to go to any of those. So I know it's not exactly ideal, but if you have a mouse with a roller ball, that's going to make that the easiest. So let me just click through. I'm obviously not reading these to make sure that I get the correct answers, so don't judge me if I'm getting the wrong answers. We click answers, and then, okay, here's another one where you can see you really need the trackpad, because if you try to drag this down, it won't really scroll down for you. So you can use the roller ball, or again, I can zoom out so I can see all of the questions and answers, and then I can drag these in even if I don't have a mouse with a roller ball. Okay, and then I'll click finish checkpoint. And again, don't judge me for my score. I didn't read the questions. Oh, I only got 1 out of 8 correct. And you'll see here, it's going to tell me I need 100% to pass this quiz. I can click restart checkpoint and try the questions again. Or what I would suggest you do first is click on view questions, and this will take me to all of the questions, answers, and sometimes I'll even provide a little bit of feedback in these gray boxes here that kind of tell you, hey, here's why you missed the question. So that will show you kind of what you need to study, and then when you're ready, you'll scroll back up, restart checkpoint, and it will just take you back to the same checkpoint again. You'll notice the questions will be in a different order this time. Okay, let me make sure I've covered everything here that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, be sure to pause the video, make yourself note cards. Also, keep in mind, if you click away from the video while it's playing. So if you have the video playing and then you go to open another tab and try to check your social media or something, it is not going to work. It will automatically pause the video as soon as you leave the screen. So make sure you keep this screen on while you're watching and listening at the same time. Okay. Just a couple more things to talk about here, some study tactics. So active recall is important. Make sure you're actually testing yourself to see if you remember what the vocab terms mean. The thing that's so great about note cards or flashcards or whatever you want to call them is when you study those note cards, you look at one side and you ask yourself, what is the thing that's on the other side? This is cyanosis. What is cyanosis? Oh yeah, cyanosis is blue skin. If I just look at the front of the card and say cyanosis, don't think about it, flip it over, read it, and it says blue skin, that's not going to help me build the pathways that help me remember things. What helps me remember things is try. Cyanosis, what is it? What is it? I have no idea. I wish I could remember what cyanosis was. Okay, I've made a serious attempt and I don't know. Now I can flip the card over and look at it. So just try to do that to test yourself to make sure you know the information before you take the quizzes. Also, trying to space out this information. If you're trying to sit down in 20 hours straight and do these videos start to finish in 2 days, your brain is going to have a really hard time recalling all of that information. So make your note cards, take them to work tomorrow, study them on your lunch break, and then come back and take the quiz. Or study your note cards, go take a walk around the block, come back, take the quiz. Do something to kind of get away from the computer and then come back to make sure you actually remember that information and it's not just stored in short-term memory. Another spoiler alert I will give you is that if you look at the course, you will notice that after all of the courses, there's the last module is called Taking the NREMT, where I'll give you a few tips on taking the National Registry, and then the very last thing is called the final quiz. The final quiz is going to mix questions from all of the checkpoints you just completed and mix them all up, and you'll get random questions, and you have to pass this quiz to pass the course. So when you see something, it's not going to be the last time you see it because if nothing else, there's a good chance it's going to be on that final quiz. So just keep that in mind that you want to make sure you're ready for that final quiz so you can make sure you're ready for that National Registry exam. Okay. So keep studying the old topics. Once you've learned one topic and move to the next one, add those note cards in and just keep studying your stack of note cards and keep adding them so you're learning more. Talk out loud through these things to study. You can explain it to a friend or a pet or talk to a wall or make a video. I have a friend who makes Facebook live videos on things she's studying just to help her remember it, and it's fun for all of us to watch it and see what she's learning about. So do those kind of things to help you remember the information. Okay, take breaks again. 20 hours straight through is not going to cut it. I would suggest maybe an hour a day, 2 hours a day. Usually I suggest you do this within 2 weeks. So about 2 hours a day will get you there. It's a good idea. Again, minimize those distractions, phone away, TV off, quiet focus sessions. This is not something you can do while you're cooking dinner, while you're driving, all that. Also, getting good sleep is going to help with memory. Make sure you're getting good rest, taking care of yourself, eating healthy. All those kind of things we learned about early in the class will help you learn this information and retain it. And then testing stamina is a good thing. So the National Registry exam can be up to 2 hours. So I say do a little bit, go for a walk, come back, but also make sure you can focus for up to 2 hours. So if that sounds daunting, maybe work on that. Try to do 30 minutes, and then tomorrow do 45 minutes, and the next day do an hour, and just kind of work your way up to where you can focus for 2 hours on this material. So you'll be ready for that National Registry exam. Okay, that's all I have for you. Good luck in the course. If you have any questions or any problems with any of the tech or anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And I look forward to hearing about your success on the National Registry after this course. Thank you.